Hello everyone and welcome. I've reviewed several battery chargers in the past, and if you want a battery charger with many features, they generally tend to be rather expensive. Generally, the cheaper battery chargers are very bare bones and can't do much aside from a basic trickle charge. Well, the other day I came across this battery charger that we'll be looking at today, and this battery charger has the same features as my more expensive battery chargers, but at half the price. Is it any good? Can it do as much as my more expensive chargers can do? I don't know. But for the low price that this guy has, I thought it was worth testing to find out. That way, if it does a good job, then you guys know that you have a good option as to where you can find a good quality yet inexpensive battery charger and maintainer. So if you've been looking for an economical yet powerful battery charger and maintainer, stick around as I unbox and test this puppy. Alright guys, so when you unbox this puppy, this is everything you get. So let's talk a little bit about some of the features that this guy has, but before we get started testing this guy, do me a big favor and hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. That way you get notified every time I do another product review video, DIY project, or a sale at a big box store where I can help you save more money. Alright then, so this is the 12 and 24 volt battery charger and maintainer from EAFC, available on Amazon, link in description below. At the time of making this video, this battery charger retails for $20.56, which is a fantastic price for what this guy is supposed to do. The warranty on this guy is 1 year, and the dimensions on this guy are 6 inches by 3 inches by 2 inches. And what do you get included when you get this guy? Well, you get the battery charger, and you get the manual that tells you everything about this guy, how to set it up, take care of it, all that kind of good stuff. Now, this is a 10 amp 12 volt or 5 amp 24 volt battery charger and maintainer. This unit can do charging, battery repair, and trickle charging or maintaining of your battery. It has a 9-stage battery repair system, including desulfating and rejuvenating of your battery. This unit can recharge and repair 12 volt and 24 volt lead acid batteries such as HEM, GEL, SLA, and flooded, plus deep cycle marine batteries. Lithium batteries are excluded. This charger has a built-in repair function that refreshes your battery by applying high and low frequency pulses. This charger has a convenient LED display that tells you everything that the unit is doing. This unit has an operating range of from 10 degrees Celsius to 28 degrees Celsius, or that would be 50 degrees Fahrenheit to 83 degrees Fahrenheit. This charger has built-in protections for overcharging, overcurrent, overtemperature, short circuit, and reverse polarity. This charger also has a built-in fan that I'll show you in a moment, comes out of the side, and it keeps it nice and cool when it's working. This built-in temperature sensor on this charger allows it to adjust the charging level based on the ambient temperature to prevent overheating of the battery being charged. This charger automatically changes to maintaining or trickle charge after it fully charges your battery. So this charger seems to be a very powerful charger at a very reasonable price. It does everything my more expensive chargers can do, but at half the price. So let's hook this guy up and see how it performs. Alright guys, so let's take a little closer look at this little guy, this little battery charger, and see everything that it can do and all the different functions that it has and so forth. Nice little distinct little box right there. It's supposed to do a lot of things considering it's a very economical little guy. So basically, like I said, it has a nice little LED display right there. It tells you everything that is going to be happening. And obviously it'll change when you have it hooked up. I don't have it hooked up right now, so that'll change once you hook it up to a battery. And your selection is right down here. You just scroll through whatever it is that you want, the battery type that you have, and it'll do whatever it's supposed to do internally. Microprocessor controlled, it has everything inside, and it'll select the best option of what needs to be done. Now the controls on this guy are very simple. You have one button right there. You see the fingerprint? That's where you put your finger right there, and it is touch sensitive. It's not a button. So all you do is tap it, and you'll see down here how it'll change. You just tap it, and it just goes through it, and I don't even need to put any pressure on it. It's touch sensitive. So very sensitive little device right there, and you select whatever battery it is that you want to do. And it tells you right there what it does as far as the repair and so forth, the different pulses that it'll do, that kind of thing. Very nice little guy. And like I said, it has, what is it right here on this side? You see right there, it has a little fan. And when it's doing its thing, it has a little fan right there that'll keep it cool so it doesn't overheat. And there's nothing much on the sides or on the back. It just tells you the specs back here. If you want to see the specs, I'll give you a close-up of that. And you can see right there everything that this guy is supposed to be able to do and handle. Now, like I said, it is a 12 and a 24 volt, but I'm sure most of my viewers are going to be using it as a 12 volt charger. So this is a 10 amp 12 volt charger, and it's only 20 bucks, like I said, which is really what intrigued me, because I have a similar charger to this and does pretty much what this guy's supposed to do, but it was like $90, 90 something dollars, close to 100 bucks when I got that guy. So that is rather expensive. Now, to give you a comparison, like I said, this is a $20 charger. So let's get something that is identical to this one, because I do have one. And it happens to be this little guy right here. I bought this many years ago, and I got the cheapest one I could find at Walmart, and it was $20, $19.99, I believe it was. So this is a $20 charger to give you an exact comparison of the two. The difference is, this is 10 amp. This guy is only 1 amp. So that's the big difference right there. No LED display, no anything. It just has 3 little lights on there that tells you when it's charging, when it has a fault, and when it's done. That's it. This guy is tiny. Look, it's the size of my hand. Really, really tiny. If you want something compact and you want something really, really small, hey, it's not bad. It does the job. But like I said, I've had this guy for many years. Worked out for me just fine. And if you want a comparison of the connectors on it, here's the one from Stanley. You know, name brand. I know somebody's going to say, well, it's not a name brand. Well, here's a name brand, a Stanley. You can use this for comparison. And let's take a look at this guy. And you can see this guy's right here. Not much of a difference. Pretty much the same. Almost about the same size. See right there? About the same size. Pretty much the same everything. So there's no difference as far as that goes. So I'm going to be undoing these cables and hooking it up in a moment. But that shows you, for 20 bucks, you're getting a lot more with this guy than I got with my little Stanley. Like I said, this little Stanley, tiny little guy, really nice if you want something small, but no features at all. It is only a trickle charger. 1 amp, 10 amps. Big, big difference for the same amount of money. So that is what intrigued me when I first came across this guy. So there you go. That gives you all the details and everything about this guy. Closer look at it. Let's hook it up to the vehicle and see what it can do. All right, guys, here we have the little charger hooked up to my vehicle, and this is a vehicle that I don't drive very often, so that's why I like to have battery chargers on hand to keep the battery topped off if I know I'm not going to be driving it for very long. But it was very easy to do, just selected a car battery, obviously not going to be a motorcycle, marine, deep cycle, any of that stuff, and the display hooks up right there, tells you everything that's going on. It tells you that you have the polarity correct, tells you the temperature, the voltage that it's putting in, tells you the voltage that the battery's at, all that kind of good information. Very informative. Very helpful to know what's going on with your battery. So let's let this little guy run for a little while. We're going to let it top off the battery. As you can see right there, it's telling you exactly how much the battery needs to be topped off. And we'll come back a little bit later and see if it switches over to trickle charge or if it turns off or what it does. So we're going to let it run for a while, let it fully charge up the battery, and we'll come back after that. Alright guys, so here we are back after a couple hours, and you can see right there that this little guy has switched over and it's showing you that it is full. So it tells you when the battery is full. And it's probably doing a trickle charge, or I don't know if you need to switch it over to a motorcycle mode to have it do a trickle charge, but it tells you very clearly when it's full. Very informative LED panel, unlike some of the other ones that I have that only have a few little lights, red, yellow, green, that kind of thing. This one gives you a lot of info. In fact, you can see there at the bottom where it says that it is summer, which it is right now. And it switches over to whatever the temperature is that is most appropriate for charging the battery. And one thing also, I didn't film the charging process because, it's like watching grass grow. It's pretty slow, tedious, and boring. But one thing I will say is that I did keep an eye on it, and I did notice that the amperage going into the battery changes according to what it thinks is best for the battery. It started off at about 5.5 amps. The battery had basically 80% charge. So the charger started at 5.5 amps. Even though it's 10 amps, it doesn't put through everything all at once because you don't want it to put through 10 amps of power and possibly damage or start boiling your battery. You don't need that. You need it to charge at whatever is the most appropriate amperage. So anyway, it started at 5.5 amps. Then it went down to 4, then it went down to 3, then it went down to 1, and then it was full. So basically it charges it gradually so it doesn't harm your battery. And that's one thing that some people may misunderstand. They think that since it's a 10 amp battery, it's going to blast your battery with 10 amps of power right from the start all the way to the end. It doesn't work that way. That's why this little guy has a processor inside that decides what is the optimal temperature and what is the optimal voltage and amperage and all that kind of stuff. So this little guy is smarter than a lot of people out there that don't know much about battery voltage and charging and all that kind of stuff. So for a very inexpensive little charger, I think it did actually quite well. I'm really quite confident in it because it tells me a lot of what it's doing. Whereas some of the other ones that I have don't tell me anything at all. They just have little idiot lights on it. So this guy at least is very informative and tells you everything that it's doing. So for 20 bucks, I am really quite satisfied with it. I think it does a fantastic job. And if you want a battery charger that has a lot of capabilities and is really cheap, I would say check out the link below, and that way you can take a look at this guy. So there you go, guys. If you're looking for an inexpensive battery charger, I think this is a good one to take a look at. All right, then. Hope you enjoyed the video. Check out the links below for all the information. Hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye-bye for now.